Hello, happy Wednesday. Sorry, it said showtime and I was still on my phone. All right, guys, Wednesday, I'm just going to do July. Let's take a look at July and see a message for each zodiac. And we're going to focus on, pull a card for love and life and see what's shifting or anything happening in love. I don't know. We'll go with the flow and figure it out as we go. Every Wednesday is usually about some sort of shift, what's leaving, what's coming in, what's trying to enter, and love specifically, and what to do with all of it. Hello, Angel, Lisa. Hello, Bernadette. Hello, Jeff. What's up? Long time no see, guys. Empress of Fair Fire. I like it. And Rooted in Official. What's up, Bernadette? All right. So let's give it a little bit. I usually start Aries off at 222. Hi, the girl. What's up? All right, but I am going to jump right in. Let's do Aries at 11:11. Let's see. Aries. We are going to I'm trying to make Wednesdays a little bit shorter. So let's jump into it. Aries, let me get an oracle message for July, and then we'll pull some cards for you. We're looking at what's new or trying to enter your life. All right, Aries. Stone of Destiny is showing up for you. Life path, ambition, passion, and yes. So very good time for Aries anyways in July. I feel like this is going to be a month where you may meet somebody or people that you're currently connected with seem to be a part of your life's journey. Very important people, very influential people. So beginning a relationship, or even if you're already partnered in a relationship, you might be going through some challenges, but this month seems to be lightening up things for you and a lot of passion. And the answer is yes, right? For some of you that maybe have a question and that yes just hit you really hard, that is for you. Now, this could be also a month to really get focused with work as well. You have ambition here, Stone of Destiny, which means you might have to kick it into high gear. I see the Knight of Wands with that energy where it's like Aries is in go mode. So lots of fun, love, and creativity for July. So let's take a look at what's shifting for you and what's trying to enter. All you supposed to be at work. Thank you for being here. I am at work and you're hanging out with me. All right, Aries. So here you go. 8 of Wands energy. So it feels like fast motion. I know we're in a retrograde, but retrograde doesn't mean life doesn't keep going. And so, trying to beat time, beat the clock, maybe in a rush, really feeling excited, really feeling like you're hitting the gas pedal and everything's rolling at your speed. 8 of Wands, if you've been stagnant for a little bit or feel like, something that you've been trying to figure out or move, but it won't move. This is the month where things start to pick up pace. Now, communication is also with this energy too. So a lot of things could be coming at you. Be mindful of blurting things out. This can be blunt honesty. So you could speak your mind to somebody, but so if it's work or something, make sure that you want to say it, because July could be the month where you're just blurting things out. Now, that also means somebody may blurt something out towards you. They may say something that they've been holding back. All right. And so very dramatic, very fast, very exciting energy. And for some of you, there could be an invitation to travel. What's trying to shift is the 6 of Wands. Maybe some of you really feel like you're just fighting for that position, whether it's in a relationship or in a life position, a work position. Some of you feel like there's a lot of competition around you, or you're always competing against time, other people, you're competing for attention. But it looks like this Six of Wands, very strong Leo energy, and we have a lot of Leo energy happening right now, which looks like it's bringing a lot of love and admiration. So you could level up at work in July. You could be getting a lot of attention, finally being noticed by somebody, maybe turning heads. And so a lot of the things that you're fighting for right now seem to be coming to light. So I would say don't give up on what it is you're fighting for right now, you know. And so what is trying to enter your life? Well, some of you got a devil trying to come back around. Now we do have retrograde, right? So if you're looking good, of course, somebody wants to poke back in and come back and say hi. All right. So if you have a little devil in your life, well, say hi to them in July. I also see the Sun card here too, and I'm seeing a blessing. This is one of the, in the astrology for my Aries, this is a good time that is highlighting, you know, your house of love, romance, sex, creativity, and confidence, and something bigger, life expanding more than you expected, more fun, feeling happy and joyful. This is pure clarity and also a blessing maybe around money. Somebody could be falling in love. You know, this brings new romance as well too. So you may be dealing with the little devil, but you also have a surprise or a new friend or falling in love with somebody new. Luck, I keep saying luck and money because when I see status and the Sun too, this also means that you might be getting just extra attention in July. It just feels like very dramatic energy, like the spotlight's on you in July. So anything else for Taurus, for Aries? I see the King of Swords. So pay attention to an air sign that might be entering your life, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. A lot about community, a lot about the way other people see you. I can see that it's turning around. So if you've been feeling unseen or feeling like people just aren't showing up for you, even in partnerships, it looks like we're getting clarity and truth coming in around situations, and you are getting more attention in July. So, like I said, if you have the Five of Wands and you feel like, you know, everything's like an uphill battle right now, don't give up. It looks like July is going to be a really fun month for you. And you could have new romance and air sign coming into your life. All right, Aries, that's what I got for you. Let's see. Taurus. Eight, let's do 8, 8. All right, Taurus, July. All right, let's look at July. Let's start off with an oracle for July for my Tauruses. Creativity. All right, trust your vision. You're kind of getting the same thing Aries just got too, but in a different way. A lot of fire from my Aries. Maybe feeling more creative. If you had a creator's block or feel stuck when it comes to projects or, you know, your career, you could be getting a little itch to want to express yourself creatively, doing things, doing hobbies and picking up new hobbies, or just feeling more creative in general, which means that your manifestation powers will be heightened with this energy. Bringing in the ability to be able to manifest from a place of real true desire. So I am getting trust your vision. Some of you may have a real potent vision in your mind that you constantly think about, that you're like, you know, for example, for me, I'm always thinking about homestead, and it's going to happen. It's gonna happen, right? So if you've been constantly finding yourself drifting, towards a future that you see yourself in, or see yourself with somebody, you're manifesting your path, right? And so it looks like July, you may have that energy of sort of the Empress energy, right? Because it's manifesting, it's very fiery energy and creative energy. So you may start finding yourself making choices or making decisions that are actually planting seeds towards this vision that you're having. All right, so let's take a look at tarot and see what's trying to leave and what's trying to come into your life. All right, Taurus. Look at the Star card, same thing. It's like you've been thinking, kind of fantasizing about the future, and you're seeing being pulled into alignment. Some wishes, like this is the instant manifestation. All right. This is where when you're in alignment and you just know what you want, it's not just about hoping anymore. I mean, a lot of you have been hoping for a while and already sitting in this energy of, it's got to get better. There's something more out there. I know it's going to get better. Even if it's been tough for you, you've been going through some dark times. This looks like a break in the energy with you when it comes to home and love. That the tower, if you're going through it, is settling in, and things are starting to clear up, and things are starting to come to your mind. Maybe for some of you, new dreams, new purpose, right? So even though I'm talking about, if some of you are like, no, I don't have a vision, July could be where you're starting to see the light on new things, and you may be wanting to have a new story for yourself. Now, you could have an Aquarius around you, Aquarius coming into your energy. Now, here's what you're shifting from: being alone, doing your thing. Maybe it's time, you've been kind of hanging out with yourself for a while. It's trying to figure out, and this is the 8 of Cups. This is trying to figure out your path, doing a little soul searching, so I'm going to go ahead and say it. It looks like July could be when you finally figure it out. You kind of know which direction you're going in, and maybe you'll hit that 9 of Cups. You'll hit that wish fulfillment. It just all clicks and makes sense to you. And a lot of you maybe have made some choices to walk away and be by yourself for a minute. Or, even right now, you could even be deciding to go your own way for a little bit so you can figure out a new direction. You're feeling a strong pull to something that brings fulfillment, right? You're feeling like you want more in your life. So what is coming into your life? I see the 6 of Pentacles. All right, let's get one more card here, and the 10 of Swords. So the end to any financial crisis, an end to any not feeling supported, embracing new change. I can see that you are completely walking out of a situation that may have really handed you, a lot, right? A lot of grief. Right. So you're seeing embrace the change in a difficult period ending. So there's a huge, and you're seeing support come in. So for some of you, if it's been a financial difficulty, or you feel like the people around you haven't been supporting you, you're coming towards people that want to be around you and people that are adding value to your life. And when it comes to love too, it is feeling like if you've been at a distance with somebody, a partnership, and you just feel like your partner hasn't been contributing or hasn't been as open as usual, it looks like you guys are kind of renegotiating what's going on. Let's talk about what's really happening here and how we can be more supportive of each other. All right. Now, if you're single too, there could be an offer. Finally, you've been putting a lot of this work in, and this is where somebody could be entering your life, and it could, this romance is something that's going to be a little bit more cozy and supportive. So it could be It doesn't have to be like a very intense relationship that is coming around you in July, but it'll be one where it feels like we just know each other. It feels more homey. It feels more respectful, like we have the same plans, right? And, you know, it could be a friend of yours that you guys all of a sudden are deciding that, you know, we really get along. We're really like family. You know, and this spark may start up. So you may end up being, you know, more than friends with somebody in July. Let's get one more. And I'm seeing the Queen of Pentacles, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, very earthy energy. So this feels like things becoming more steady and grounded with somebody in July, somebody who does feel like home with this energy, somebody who fits right into your everyday life, somebody who gets what you need, somebody who's trying to give you what you need, and vice versa. So if some of you are having a hard time walking away from an unhealthy situation, or just, you know, you have options, but they're just not fulfilling you, look at what you're walking into. You just are not settling anymore. And the Queen of Pentacles is also like the Empress card. And I said that at the beginning. It just feels like you're knowing your value and you're settling in and you're standing out more. And somebody who's very grounded and earthy is feeling this vibe from you. So this feels like July is going to be where relationships start to settle in and become more ritual, routine, and we know where we stand in the process with somebody. We feel respected, valued. I love you, Taurus. That's what I got for you. All right, Gemini. I feel like it should still be Gemini's birthday. It just went by. Gemini's birthday went by really fast. All right, I want to get a good shuffle here. It should always be. I'm sitting here saying too, I'm not rushing my birthday. I don't want my birthday to come. All right. So, hello. Happy birthday to your son. All right. Gemini. Use your voice, July. We're moving. I'm looking at July just to get a little brief, quick. I'll get more into July as we get closer, but I didn't know what to do today. So I just said, you know, let's see what's going on. And I'm seeing singing. I'm seeing happy singing, using your voice, changing your mood, changing your tone. It says transmit your vibration. So be mindful of what's coming out of that mouth of yours. You know, if you are finding yourself saying things or being negative and not realizing it, we manifest that shit. All right, we manifest that stuff. And this is, you know, there's somebody here that you're either trying to talk to, or, you know, in July, you know, you got to say something. If some of you got like a, you know, what is it? The cat got your tongue. What's the thing? Look at the devil card here. So you could have a devil. Some of you have some, Aries did too. You have a little devil coming back in July. You know, it's part of it. You know, there's always somebody, always a little temptation hanging around. You are very magnetic. You just went through your solar return. It's summertime. You know, we got Cancer energy, people wanting to, you know, be lovey-dovey, emotional, you know, people really wanting to connect with people. Summertime is fun time. But you got to say something. So I am getting that for you. Talk. Somebody wants to talk to you. Somebody enjoys talking to you. Somebody who pays attention to everything that you say. So be mindful of what you're saying, because you could hook somebody, or you could get somebody's attention through the words you're using. So I feel like somebody's listening to you. That's a little creepy, right? Somebody's listening to everything you say and they're judging you. Right? All you guys are gonna be walking around trying to like filter your. I'm talking. Don't filter yourself. I'm talking if you find yourself complaining or getting caught up with gossip or getting caught up with somebody else's attitude and you're just saying shit. You know, sometimes you just say shit to say shit. I'm third house done, right? It's just verbal diarrhea, you know? So be mindful of that crap too. But that's what I'm getting. Use your voice wisely. Now let's see a little devil showing up. So also be mindful of who you're trying to call back in, because I do see some temptations. Somebody trying to talk to you, trying to smooth talk you is what I'm getting there. You know, right now I see the Four of Pentacles. What's shifting for you is this energy of stagnancy, this stuck, just focusing on money, just grinding, just kind of feeling distant from people. I don't know if some of you have pulled your energy back a little bit. Opening up. It feels like, you know, opening up a little bit, letting go of control. Stop trying to control every little thing that comes into your life right now. If some of you have been struggling with money or your foundation, it looks like things may ease up for you, and feeling a little bit more stable, more grounded, so that you can loosen up your grip a little bit. Now, what's coming towards you? You have the Eight of Cups, the Five of Cups, right? And the Sun card. All right. So I do feel like, guys, you're going to have somebody return into your life, and be mindful. You may decide to walk away. This is somebody that you might be holding on to, like you just don't want to release the grip with. All right. But I am seeing that somebody's going to come around and still disappoint you. All right. You know, so, but you guys want this person into your life. They're going to keep coming back around. That's the devil. That's the retrograde. Here it is. They are showing up for you. But I am seeing it. A lot of you may decide to walk away finally and talk to somebody new. I see expression, clarity. I see new romance also for some of you. Now, that doesn't mean that the person coming around, this little devil coming around, I wouldn't have said that if I didn't see the Eight of Cups and the Five of Cups. It seems like nothing has changed with this person that has done this to you before. All right. But the Sun card is talking about a conversation, about truth coming up, about knowing the truth. So you may finally realize the truth about this devil, right? Or you may be open to new conversation. It looks like a new summer love is trying to come in for you. So some of you, the right person, you may start to feel somebody's attention, somebody smiling around you, somebody who wants to be around you. And this may come into light. You may not know this person right now, so just be mindful. We're looking at July. There could be somebody orbiting around you that is trying to get your attention. So what else? I see the Five of Swords. This is all about your voice, right? Be mindful of what you're saying, what you're directing at people, what your arguments, disappointment. Don't get caught up in texting wars. Don't get, you know, this is funny because I'm sitting here asking myself, why is Gemini getting all this about words and mouth? And it's because you're ruled by Mercury. Virgo's probably going to get the same thing too. We tend to be more scattered and with our voice, and not, so you got to have to slow down and think about what you're saying to avoid any kind of conflicts with people in, you know, right now and going into July. See a Leo energy for you. All right. What am I missing in there? All right, Cancer. Now, this is Cancer's birthday season, so hopefully you get something good. All right, Cancer, happy birthday. We're just kind of getting a sneak peek into July. See what I can pull. I'll do another deep dive obviously, but remember why you came and be bold. So we're starting off with an oracle for you. You know, this is the moment you may decide to do something crazy in July. All right, something that is going to be very potent for your future. I wonder what that could be. You are being asked to be bold and to remember who you are. Right, even the retrograde is in your sign too, so you know it's a return into yourself, right? Or remembering something that you really want to do, and that happening in July. This is your birthday, so there's going to be, you know, this is a renewal period for you, and this is, you know, old things coming back up, old feelings, old loves could be coming back around, right? We know you love this retrograde energy. But don't let somebody take you out of alignment, especially if somebody does come back. You know, they may come back, you know, and it's easy to get pulled back into how you were at one point with somebody, and you're becoming something else. And so it's being mindful not to slip back into that or put that hat back on with somebody that comes back around. It reminds me of when you go home, no matter how much you try or you work and you want to go home and show everybody who you are, you get pulled back into whatever position you play in your family dynamics, right? Now I'm getting the Hierophant here too, so rite of passage. So this could be a month too where you are leveling up big time. Somebody could circle around, and this is where you've seen how much you've changed, right? You're finally being able to button things up and go, wow, I really have done a lot of work or have improved. Now, this is also a month where relationships too with the Hierophant could take on a whole new level. It's like we need more, we want more from each other. We're not the same people we used to be. And, you know, this is where we're redeveloping, or we're forming a new type of relationship. You know, things are becoming more mature. Some of you could think about going back to school, or, you know, following something you've been dreaming about doing, right? Remember why you came, the records. Now, right now, the energy is the Nine of Pentacles. What's trying to leave is you being single. So maybe my Cancers are not going to be single any longer. All right. The 10 of Wands, doing things on your own. See you later. Bye. Some of you have been working for yourself. Some of you have been handling biz on your own. Some of you have been carrying all the burdens, all the stresses. Some of you have been stressing out more than people know. Some of you, you know, just don't like to ask for help. Right? This is leaving. This is changing. So you got to let somebody in. All right. Maybe some of you like to do everything by yourself, but it's getting heavy. It feels like it's been getting heavy for you. And you are reaching some point where it's like, no, I don't want to do it all myself. All right. So I'm seeing the Two of Pentacles, important decisions around where you put in your energy. Now you could be juggling, relationships in July, making decisions. You know, you could have somebody new popping in, and some of you over here going, you know, this one or that one, right? Maybe I have options. You're looking good, the Nine of Pentacles. So I'm sure you do have your options, right? You may be making a decision when it comes to work, if work is too hard, or you've just been carrying a lot of stress because of work. It looks like some of you could decide to do something different. You may weigh out the benefits of a new job if you're working harder than you're getting paid, or you just outgrew your job. I am seeing, you know, that come in. Now I'm seeing somebody's coming in to help you out financially, though, or to add to your life financially. So, you know, if you need the help, it's coming in. You know, if you don't need the help, it doesn't matter. It just looks like more the better, right? But it looks like we're on the same page. We're trying to figure things out. So Relationships, making important decisions around, it seems to me, around your job or your career is one of the biggest things, especially if you're trying to juggle career and relationships. Now, some of you are trying to be in a relationship and you work all the time. This is where you don't want to have, if you don't want to have to work all the time, then it's going to be working less and taking a cut and letting somebody in, and this could be the decision that you're making. Because if you're working all the time, but you want a relationship, unless you're going to, work, find somebody you work with, it's hard. I see a King of Wands coming around you. So this could be the month of a fire sign connecting with you. All right, it doesn't have to be fire sign, but I am seeing a king. I'm seeing somebody who's very attractive, very outgoing, and maybe dramatic. So somebody trying to show up and get your attention. In July, King of Wands. All right, Cancer. Happy birthday. Hello, Leo babe. Hello, Cassius. What is up? Lisa. All right, Leo. You're welcome. These are just, I'm trying to make these ones quicker today. I just didn't know what to do. So I'm just doing a little insight, a little quick insight into July. All right. All right, Leo. All right, let's start with an oracle for you. Awakening, progress, and initiation. So, we're getting closer to your season coming up too, and we have Jupiter and Venus there. And so somebody waking up, somebody finally seeing who you are, somebody finally seeing, the relationship for what it is. Progress, initiating, somebody wanted to make change. So July could be the month where we finally, it's like the Two of Wands, right? We know action needs to happen. We know we need to do something. So how are we going to change, right? Now, awakening, though, means somebody is realizing, all right, if we want to see improvements, if we want to do something, or if I want to see improvements in my life, I need to do something different. I can't just sit there and say I want it and wait for a card to tell me it's going to come. I have to take action. Now, the word initiation is showing up. So maybe you are going through something that you need to go through. And then there's this initiation, there's a leveling up. You go through this so you can get to what it is that you're trying to get to. And it's going to be very big. I mean, if you're working really hard towards accomplishing something, you got to do what you got to do to get to where you got to go. Right? There's no skipping lines or jumping ahead. All right. This is where you put the work in, you're seeing the progress, you're going to get the rewards, the Six of Wands energy. You could be going through an awakening in July, right? And that can be in a spiritual awakening. That can be like, I just see things differently. I see people differently. I see myself differently. And you may decide to do something about that, initiate something new into your life, a new study, new people in your life too, and new teachers, new guides. All right, so let's see what's trying to leave and what's trying to come in. Now, remember, that can be everything I just said, could be what's happening with people around you too. Making progress. It seems like if you're in a partnership, you guys are doing it, but somebody's got to initiate. Somebody's got to lead the way. We both just can't sit there. I love that. Sober for 20 days now. Good for you. Sending you love and strength. All right, Three of Wands. Look at the progress. Moving forward. All right, so July looks like you're continuing to move and groove and just continuing to see what's out in front of you. All right, you know, transformation, travel, going somewhere. I said the Two of Wands and you got the Three of Wands here. So I was a step behind. You know, it looks like you're just continuing to move forward. You may have somebody coming in, somebody traveling towards you, making connections and expanding your community as well. Like I said, initiating conversation with somebody. What's trying to leave is the confusion and the misunderstandings you keep having with people. This is where I feel like if you're not in alignment with people in your life, you're never going to understand them and you're never going to get the answers to your whys. Right? It's like, why does this person keep confusing me? Why does this person keep fighting me? Why does this person not understand what I'm saying? Why? Because you're not in alignment and they don't want to, right? It has nothing to do with you. It's, you've said all you said, and sometimes why is just somebody doesn't get it. Somebody doesn't get you and they're not going to, right? Not right now. But what's changing is that's leaving. And so maybe somebody is seeing, you know, clearly. And this could be either you or somebody else seeing clearly. Either, I don't know why I'm wasting my time, or maybe I get you now. And maybe now I can see, and now we can move towards clarity. And Six of Swords is moving forward, getting out of a difficult situation so that we know which direction we're going in. So you could decide to leave a situation or you finally get through something. Now, what's coming towards you is the Empress. So you do have love, growth, and abundance coming towards you. And I see the Six of Pentacles. And Jupiter is in your sign, right? So it feels like, you know, you're drawing abundance in, you're drawing support in, you're drawing in, you know, whatever you've been given back. Remember I said in the beginning here, I said, you put the work in, you're going to get back the results. There's the Six of Pentacles. So some of you, some money coming in, a debt, somebody paying off a debt, you know, things that, you know, somebody here putting more effort into a relationship is coming towards you as well. You know, and this is unconditional love growing. Keep watering the plants, keep watering what you've planted, because whatever you're working on is growing and it's going to expand into something bigger, and it's probably going to bring some sort of payout. Maybe you will see a payout in July with something that you've been working on. All right. Now this can bring in a new relationship as well too with the Empress. There could be something growing behind the scenes that you haven't met somebody yet. If you're single, you may have talked to somebody in the past or said something to somebody in the past. And then in July, all of a sudden something's coming of that. You know, a friend of yours could tell somebody that they have a friend that's single, and that's how there's a matchmaker. Some of you could have a matchmaker. Now, I just be mindful that whoever's really, be mindful of motives around you. All right, the Five of Swords, it looks like God's trying to pull some weeds, pull some people out of your life that keep confusing you, keep, you know, a headache, right? So it looks like some of those people may be getting plucked from your life. Anything else? I see the Hermit card. If some of you have been going through a long period of loneliness or feeling isolated or by yourself, it looks like that could be changing too. We're taking a new road. It's time to come out. It's time to express ourselves. It's time to enjoy a new journey and try something new. Now, this is also talking about a spiritual awakening. Some of you guys, if you've already... if you haven't gone through one yet, this could be where maybe some of you are deciding to go do something spiritual in July, because you're in a whole new awareness. You're talking about going sober. Sometimes when you go sober, you can actually have an awakening too, which brings you closer to God and your path. All right. So for those of you that are very spiritual, July could be a very spiritual month for you. And receiving gifts. So be open to receive any gifts that are coming towards you as well. This is the time before your birthday. All right. Virgo. Love you, Leo. What are you talking about? Great rash or great read? You're welcome. Ooh, Virgo. All right. So Virgo, this card just fell out for you, Virgo. And look at this. I said this in Geminis. I said maybe you'll get this too. Transmit your vibration and use your voice. You are Mercury ruled, and with the retrograde, it's still going to mess with maybe your emotions, your feelings. And this is being mindful of your voice. I am seeing something from your past maybe emerging, but you are released in the past. So somebody could come back around, or an old feeling could come back up. And this is where you're realizing how much you've changed. And use your voice, speak your truth, especially if something or someone is coming back from the past, and you have learned or grown so much. I feel like this isn't about protecting the other person anymore. This is about, be mindful, you transmit your vibration, you want to come from the heart place. But I really do think that July is going to be where you have grown, and you're going to not hold back what you need to say to somebody. And, you may be bringing up the truth. You may be talking about the way somebody made you feel. You may, but it looks as though this is how you're released in the past. You're getting the final word. I don't think I've ever really said that. I think Virgo's going to get the final word from somebody that may be coming back around. You're going to realize too, what I'm hearing is that you're going to realize how much somebody really did, how much confusion, and how much you've grown. Not only how much you've grown from a situation, but you're going to realize how much you took, how much pain or how much bullshit you took from somebody. That's going to be what, don't beat yourself up about that one either. You signed up, I believe on some level, you sign up for certain things that you need to learn. And guess what? You will never have to learn that lesson again. So let's take a look, see if anything else comes through with that. But we're seeing what's leaving and then what's trying to come in. So obviously releasing the past. These three cards just flew out. Look at this: Seven of Swords, Queen of Cups, Eight of Swords. It could be a feminine energy, someone you don't trust, someone that you have a lot of doubts about this person, or this person has said a lot of negative things to you, and somebody has really hurt your feelings. This is everything I already said. It's just validation here. With this is coming back around. So a situation that you maybe feel is unfinished, it will be finito in July. All right, Virgo. What's leaving? Boring. Knight of Pentacles. See you later. The same old routine. Your routine won't be the same. Your everyday might change. Now, for some of you, if you're content, fine. You don't have to change anything. But something could happen that makes you have to change your schedule, your routine. If things have been boring and dull and routine, and you're waiting for change and you're wanting change, this is where the slow, the stagnancy, the boring is leaving. All right. Ace of Pentacles, new start coming in July, new offer, new job. This could be a new home. Are some of you thinking about moving? Somebody bringing in an offer? It looks like you are, something's happening in July that's going to shake things up a little bit for your everyday. All right. And I don't think you're planning for this. Now, this could be a new person too that wants to have a fresh start as well. Remember, you're releasing the past. So a lot of you are building upon something new. If somebody from your past comes back, it looks as though you're resolving, you're getting the final word, like I said. But I'm seeing that some of you could be changing positions, changing jobs. Some of you could be doing something with your health. Some of you changing your daily routine, you know, adding something new. There's a Brazilian jiu-jitsu place next to my CrossFit, and I've been wanting to go. I'm like, so it could be something like that. Maybe some of you taking on some new physical activity. I have the 9 of Cups, July looking good. July looking good, winning something big. All right. Or just feeling pretty happy and satisfied. I always want to manifest something big, but I don't want, you know, this is abundance energy. This is fresh energy. This is feeling good. This is a relationship. Maybe somebody desiring to start something with you. Feeling very grateful in July for some gift coming in towards you, a blessing coming in towards you. 9 of Cups, though, some of you just might be very happy with the way things are in your life, and it just feels chill. It feels like, you know what, if I want to do something, if I want to change something, I will, because I want to. That kind of attitude in July. All right, but I'm looking at big blessings here, you know, coming from a boring stagnancy. Maybe Virgo, it's due time, you know, time for a gift. Anything else? I see a Page of Pentacles. All right, so there is a person showing up. There is a new opportunity showing up. This can be using your skills for something to make money, all right, a new way to make money, and also a new start with somebody here that's slow and steady, you know, somebody really admiring you, somebody taking the next step towards you. And it could be a new friendship that is going to build into something more. Remember, the Ace of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles doesn't mean like crazy sparks flying, right? But it does show that you could be talking to somebody and curious. Somebody's curious about where things can go, getting to know each other. But a surprise gift. So some of you, somebody could give you something that you didn't expect. Maybe a brand new car. I'll say that. Right? Somebody just buys you a car, Virgo. All right, I love you. It looks like for my Virgos, to wrap this up, you're letting go of something big in the past. And sayonara, and you're telling them that. And I'm seeing here you got blessings. July seems to be a really good month for you. I will dive further into it as we get closer to it. This is just sort of a highlight. All right, Libra. All right, Libra, let's do this. Let's get an oracle first for you for July. Just taking a quick look at July and see what's leaving, what's coming in. All right, energy is rising for my Libras. Vitality, confidence, power, and decisiveness. Feeling like you just know what you want. All right. And you know, the energy is going to continue expanding for you. This isn't just going to be in July, you know, so you may be attracting a lot more opportunities towards you, and your confidence is growing because people are seeing you. People are starting to take notice. And now decisiveness, I feel like, is your energy. I feel like it's going to be easier for you to just say yes or no, or you may be making some important decisions when it comes to power moves, plays at work, plays in your life. Like, I'm going to choose to go this route, and it could be random. You may not have thought about doing something. You may have held back from making a decision out of pride or out of loyalty to somebody else, but you may end up deciding to go in a new direction. And it's more about you making a decision about what you really want and not trying to make somebody else or to be loyal to somebody else. Not that loyalty is not important, but sometimes we don't do what's right for us just out of loyalty to somebody else. And this could be a time where you've got to make an important decision. You can still be loyal and still be friends with somebody, but you don't have to hang out with them. All right, let's see. What's leaving? What's coming in? What's leaving? 7 of Swords. Somebody envy, jealousy, somebody sneaking around, somebody that you don't question. I mean, you question, you don't know if you can trust. Uncertainty is leaving. Uncertainty is leaving. You know what I mean? Also, what's leaving is, like I said, you lying to yourself. Right? You hide in your true feelings about what you want due to keeping the peace. Bye. All right. It just seems like it affects you more, and it's going to eat you up that you're constantly saying yes when you mean no. Or, you're just giving people the benefit of the doubt over and over and over, right? And I just see you later. This is an energy that you no longer need anymore, right? It's like, I need to make an important decision, and having people around like this can be energy draining, even if they're good people. They got to go figure their shit out. What's coming towards you? Page of Pentacles. A new position, new job offer, stepping up, trying something completely new. And so if you do make a decision to move on to something new, what could be hard for you is taking a lower position or starting fresh where you used to maybe being on top, right? But this is just the beginning stages. It does look like an opportunity for a new job to make money, a creative outlet. I'm also seeing new prospects when it comes to relationships. So if you're trying to meet somebody new, there is somebody showing up. Now, they might not be like the Knight of Wands coming in, swipe you off your feet, you know what I mean? Go have a blast and super intense. But this is somebody who's asking more for realness, honesty, trustworthy, friendship, serious energy, and slow and steady, right? So I am seeing somebody who's a little bit more honest, or somebody that's is real from the get-go. Like, they can't, a Page of Pentacles to me, they might be shy, but you can tell they're being authentic. You can tell they're being honest. And so if you're dealing with people that you can't trust, what's coming in for you is people that will be honest and authentic and real right out the gate. What else is coming in? I see a King of Swords. You got a lot of people showing up so far. I've got an Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. I'm seeing 2 things. I'm seeing a new perspective. You might be more detached. It looks like in July, it might be easier for you to detach from nonsense, detach from lies, detach from, even a situation that you've been in denial about. So you might change your perspective or your worldview and start to look at things differently. But also, there could be a person entering your life that is curious about you. And I'm seeing talking or conversating with this person. Now, it could be any kind of person, relationship, love, it doesn't matter. It could be, but they're influencing your life in a serious way. It's a masculine energy. Anything else coming towards you? I see the 6 of Swords. Some of you could be going on a trip, traveling somewhere new. This is where you may be getting an offer to go somewhere. You might have to travel for work. But some of you could actually be just taking a trip or moving. You know, you wanted to try something new, you wanted to do something totally different. So I feel like for a lot of you, you may just go out of your way, and you may be in such great energy that you might do something shocking. Let's just leave it there. You might decide to do something completely out of the ordinary. All right, Libra. Hey, what's up? Isa, I see you. All right, let's see, Scorpio. All right, we're just doing a little taste tester of July. I will go more in depth as we go. Maybe next week I'll do a full on Monday. I'll do a full July spread. But let's just get a little taste of what July looks like. The road is clear. Walking it your way. All right. And foundations, slow and steady and patience. Be in the mountains. So it looks like you're building the stability. You know what to do. Walk it your way. Get started. Looks like Scorpio is initiating some big move, some big foundation, building a foundation. Getting your life back together. If some of you feel like your life is out of control, you know, I didn't know what that meant. I always thought I was in control, you know, and, you know, and you start to stress and you have all this anxiety and you don't know where it's coming from. Sometimes it can be, you know, your foundation's not strong enough. You're sort of making decisions on what shows up for you, and you don't feel stable somewhere in your life. So July could be about really gaining control of your life again. Now, a different kind of control than I was talking yesterday for Scorpio. I'm not, because when you're out of control, you try to have control of too many things, right? Because you want to feel stable. But this is about themes about your material world, your foundation, your home, your life. You know, where do you feel shaky, and where do you feel like you're just latching on to so many different things because you feel unsafe in some ways? You're going to be fixing that in July. And this is going to be, you're going to have to step up to the plate and make a few important decisions. And that could be different for each and every one of you. Sometimes there's just something that is, I was just watching this thing about possession, you know, and it could be something like an addiction, something like that you do all the time. Somebody was eating pop all the time, and it can really rewire you and make you feel unstable. And you fix the one thing that bothers you the most, whatever it is that you are trying to avoid. That is the one thing that sort of turns the key and fixes everything else in your life. It can be something so small as I drink pop every day and I feel guilty about it. Just that alone could be the one thing. Get rid of it. Don't let it control you. All right. The Chariot card. Where are you going? All right. So it looks like we're going. It's time is what I'm hearing for you. July, it's time to pick up the pace. It's time to get focused. It's, you know, determination and drive for you. Really focusing on where you're meant to go. God's got something good for you. All right. And so there could be movement in July. There could be a move, a new car. Oh my God, I gotta fix my car. All right. So what's leaving is the Hanged Man. Some of you hanging around, not even knowing what the hell you're doing. This is your life spent in limbo. Your life's been in limbo and stuck and stagnant, and that is going to drive you insane, or if it already hasn't driven you insane. All right. So what's trying to leave is the old version of you, an old situation that you were in something too long. I don't know what it was for you, but whatever it was, you hung around in it way too long. I know what it was for me. All right. Bye. That's it. I can't even go back to even thinking about the things that I spent my time thinking about over the past year, even just the year. You know what I mean? It's like my new version of me doesn't even want to deal. I can't even talk about it right now because it's over. It's boring, right? And so there's a new phase coming in for you, a new identity coming in for you, and you've been going through the transition, and that itself can feel like you don't feel rooted. You don't even know what's going on, and I hated that feeling. I hate it altogether, right? It's harsh, right? But you are grounding in on something new. What's coming in? The Empress card. I planted a lot of seeds in July, so some of you could really be putting into motion some of those big plans that you've been wanting to do, right? I'm going to throw it out there. Maybe I'll finally do it. I'll find the land I'm looking for, right? It's just small land. That's all, right? But this here to me feels like you are going to realize your worth. Right, you're attracting in abundance in July, and planting seeds is the most important thing. It's just like, what is it? It's like on a mission, Scorpio on a mission again. It's like, I'm ready to grow something. I'm ready to build something. But also what's coming in too for you with this Empress card is things that you've already planted, things getting more intimate, things growing, things coming together as well, receiving a gift of love, a new relationship deepening. All these things can be happening with the Empress card at the same time, right? So I do see here that be open to receive whatever the universe is trying to give you in July, right? Lean back and accept the love that's coming your way. I see the Two of Cups, so more meaningful communication, a relationship, a resolve to conflict if you're having conflict with somebody else, a start. Some of you might just get started talking to somebody, all right? Literally talking to somebody and feeling the vibe with somebody. Relationships feeling good. Now, this can also be you being more expressive. You got the Empress showing up. Maybe Scorpio is going to show a little bit more love in July. So some of you on the other end, some of you cross watchers out there, maybe your Scorpios are going to soften up a little bit and be a little bit more loving towards you, a little bit more open and communicative. We can be nice. We can be nice sometimes. So I am seeing some loving, nurture, and grow. Somebody may reach out to you too who hasn't talked to you in a minute. I have the High Priestess coming in too. So you also are getting a very spiritual energy in July as well. All right. There could be some communication with downloads with God, with the divine, feeling like you're leveling up. So some of you could be going through a spiritual awakening. And I'm also getting, some of you may choose to go quiet. There are people that do that, I probably could use a week or so where I don't say anything. I don't know. I think it would be harder for me to stay quiet than anything else. But I do feel like some of you could be diving into spirituality, getting a little bit deeper into meditation, really finding your way, connecting to your intuition. All right, Scorpio, love you. You got some real divine feminine energy there for July. July is where, being open to receive, right? You don't always have to be the one giving everything. All right. I love you, Scorpio. Where did my Sag energy go? How do I do this? I messed up something. Sorry, guys. I must have deleted Sag's timestamp. I got to put it in here. Nobody's been saying anything, so I don't think I messed it up. One. All right. Sagittarius. All right, Sag. Dancing, movement, teamwork, and partnerships. We're just getting a little bit of a highlight of July to see what kind of energy July is bringing in. And right now I'm seeing my Sagittarius is having a good old time. All right, lots of movement, lots of plans, lots of going places, hanging out with people, feeling like you're vibing with everybody. Some of you could collaborate with somebody. Teamwork makes the dream work. It is all about relationships. So July is showing up as, you know, the 2s and 3s of tarot. You know, let's make the plans and let's execute. Let's get together. You do this, I do this. And so not so a lot of change. I'm just going to go with a lot of change and a lot of movement, which means less boring. So what's trying to leave your life? 5 of Swords. Why? What the hell? All the headaches are trying to leave, all the confusion. If you've been bored, when you're bored, your mind plays tricks on you. When you're bored, you think about people and you give them more value than they deserve. You know, I'm just, when I say that, look, I love people and I'm learning again to just embrace, you know, love unconditionally, love thy neighbor, you know, but there are people that do not need as much attention that you're giving them. All right. They're just not giving you enough and they're always leaving you with more questions than answers. But when you're bored, you need something, right? So you end up stressing about somebody who, if you had something better in your life or you were doing something else, you wouldn't give a shit what this person thought. You would not. You just, sometimes you're just bored and you need something to entertain you. And then what happens though is you end up getting feelings for somebody that probably didn't deserve it. Now that's leaving your life though. All right. And it looks like a lot more joy here. You can see this dancing going on. Maybe some of you taking some dancing lessons. All right. And I'm seeing look at this, the end of the 9 of Swords, somebody or something that's been keeping you up at night. You may finally turn around and be like, how the hell did I go so long? I see you waking up from a dream, waking up from actually a nightmare. So some of you, it's like you never come up for water and you finally are like, where the hell am I? You know, how did I get sucked into that rabbit hole for so long? So you're seeing clearly, healing, and some deep work happening, and it's impossible to ignore with this energy. So you're having a real wake up call that's coming in for you. Look at the Strength card. No more of that bullshit. Some of you could be getting physically fit. You know, the Strength card, I usually don't call that one out that often, you know, because it's so surface, but honestly, some of you might be deciding to take on more activity, get physically fit, you know, finding ways to relieve stress and anxiety and quit, you know, getting yourself into trouble and finding other things to do. So some of you could be taking on more activities and doing more fun things. Your confidence level is growing. So after you go through some sort of wake-up call, it looks like you're creating some boundaries and getting stronger in July. Well, you got the devil here. All right. So again, Aries and Gemini, if you're dealing with an Aries or a Gemini, possibly a Capricorn or a Leo, I am seeing though, it's going to be you creating boundaries to this devil is going to keep showing up around you. So I feel like any temptations, any addictions, you may be released in those, or, realized in that they cause more harm than good. All right. So some of you do have an addiction. July could be the month where maybe you cleanse. And I see 8 of Cups. All right. So you could be going solo somewhere, traveling solo in July. Deciding to make a choice to move on by yourself. A lot of you could decide to finally go somewhere by yourself, take a trip, or walk away from somebody. It looks like a devil energy, or walk away from something that's not healthy for you. All right. So those are the little things that probably aren't as fun. They're kind of big things, but the biggest thing I'm seeing here is that real relationships are going to have really beautiful movement, working things out, and partnerships growing for those of you that know you're in a healthy situation. Those of you that you're just done with somebody, it looks like July could be the month you break the attachment. All right. Capricornio. All right, let me get a good shuffle. I'm going to give Capricorn 11111. So I got to give me a few seconds to shuffle. All right, Capricorn, we're just doing a quick insight into July. I'll go deeper next week. Just looking at what could possibly be some highlights that are coming in for July. And I'm seeing stepping stones, taking the next step towards a simple life, or taking the next step out of a situation, or finally building something in your life. If you've been dreaming about something, been talking about doing something for some time, it's just stepping stones. Some things take a little bit longer to come together. Now, some of you could be taking an important next step, like you've been kind of doing things and tending to the garden, but now you're ready for the big leap, right? And the big leap could be a job change, it could be a relationship deepening, a relationship ending. These are big things, but it's saying keep it simple in July and just focus on one step at a time. If you're making change in your life, don't try to do everything all at once. And if you've already made the decision and made some change in your life, I'm just saying keep going. July is going to be a month where you're continuing to work it, continuing to move ahead. So what's leaving and what's coming towards you? All right, 3 of Wands. So it's not as crazy. July is not going to be super crazy. July feels like it's going to be a month of progress, a month of moving forward, a month of dealing with people you already know and expanding on it, building your community, going places, maybe checking out something new, going out more, hanging out more. But progress, it's like you already have a lot in motion and these things are going to continue to grow. What's leaving is the 8 of Cups. All right, any bad decisions or anything that's not been fulfilling you, you're finally choosing your path, right? So no more just hanging out. And this is legit. You're taking practical steps towards the things you know that you need to change or wanting to add in your life. So being by yourself and traveling alone, traveling solo is leaving. What's coming towards you in July, I'm seeing a new friendship. I'm seeing love start, whether it's through a friendship that turns into something more. You may hear from people from the past. You know, I don't care if you don't want to hear from them. Don't pick up the phone. There could be somebody from the past with the Six of Cups that wants to reach out. Now, this could be somebody that loves you, somebody that really just misses you. Right? An old friend passes by town, comes in, right? This could be a new friend turning over a new leaf with somebody, forgiveness with somebody, if in a family member. But feeling good and feeling the vibe and feeling the love. It's like your relationships with this card is highlighted in July. So it feels like your relationships are really going to feel good for you and feel reciprocated. So the people you currently have in your life, you may feel like they're showing up, you're being seen. I do see the Four of Cups here, so there could be some nostalgia. You know, you may find yourself reminiscing on the past in July. You may find yourself feeling bored or feeling stuck at times. And I'm just saying, remember that you're keeping it simple. You're taking one step at a time. You're trying to move forward, right? And if some of you are trying to rebuild your life after something that happened or a relationship that didn't pan out the way you wanted it to, you know, there are going to be some good days, some bad days, some days where you just wish you could go back to the way things were, but this stepping stones is reminding you to keep moving forward. I'm seeing the Lovers. So I do see some of you reminiscing about lovers, reminiscing about somebody from the past. There's somebody that you still love. And you may, like I said, the Six of Cups, you may have somebody come back from the past, but also some of you may be still missing or longing for somebody. And I am seeing the Lovers card here. There could be making a choice in July to open up to a new relationship. The Lovers is a choice to choose love, choose new love, especially if some of you are feeling in July, if you're talking to somebody that does not give you attention, if somebody's not being considerate of you, of your feelings, this is a sure sign that you are blocking yourself from maybe true love coming into your life. Now, the Four of Cups is somebody's just not that into you, and you know it, but you're trying to make it. You're trying to make it happen. Right? You have too much love around you right now, and somebody who really wants you, somebody who really considers you. And for some of you, you know who this connection is. The dealing with people that don't have time is not what July is going to be about. July is about who really loves you. All right. I love you, Capricorn. All right, Aquarius. 18. Almost there. So I did it pretty quick today. I stayed on time. Ooh. How can it not be your reading? We're not in July yet. People, stop skimming reads and listen. All right. We have Aquarius. Good luck, Aquarius. Wishes granted and blessings. Hold on a sec. So Aquarius, it already looks good for you in July. I'm just taking a look at some of the highlights, what possibly could be happening in July for you. Now you see in wishes granted, so July could be the month of blessings for you. Jupiter energy really showing up for you, and just a lot of luck around you. So some of you getting a break, if you know, getting a break. And I got the death card here at the bottom of the deck, so you know, letting something go finally. All right, letting something go, moving on from something. You've changed, life's changing. What's leaving is the Nine of Swords. No more unnecessary worry, right? So if you've been stressing and you've been losing sleep and you've been having crazy anxiety about your future or about something turning out for you or about passing something, right? Passing a test, anything like that. This anxiety, this, you know, this loss, this upset, this, you know, overthinking and this losing sleep and these nightmares, you know, is ending for you. What's trying to come in? I see the Queen of Pentacles, abundance and stability, maybe a better job, more support, feeling grounded, feeling like yourself again, feeling lucky, feeling responsible and in control of your life. So this is what's trying to come in for you. Now, there could be some influence by a person who's warm, generous, and, you know, very significant in your life. So somebody could be coming in with, it could be a friend, it could be a coworker, you know, could be a lover that's just wanting to be more serious, wanting to ground in, wanting to combine finances and build, right? And I'm seeing a lot of responsibility. Maybe some of you getting your life back into control, but also some of you could be getting that job or passing that test, like I said, that you want. Right? Some of you really leveling up into queen status. I do see the Tower for you in July. So remember, today is just a quick insight of what could be coming in. This is a wake-up call, awakening, change that is inevitable. So where you've been knowing that you've been resisting some sort of change, this is where God speaks. So if something needs to change or something is, you know, something may arrive or happen unexpectedly in your life in July, that changes the course of your life. You know, there might be a move. Maybe there's something that you really wanted, but you didn't know how it was going to happen. And all of a sudden the Tower comes in. It's like, you know, this is how it's going to happen. You're being pushed in a new direction. And I'm seeing the Judgment card. So I am seeing an awakening for my Aquariuses too. Some of you awaken into some real truths in July. Remember the first card, I know, you know, you're looking at these cards and, you know, life is going to life you. But you're leaving you're leaving this anxiety in the past. You're building something a little bit more solid. So the Tower card is something that you might see coming. You know that you've got to make a decision, an important decision that's going to change the direction of your life. You know, you're getting blessings and wishes granted. Maybe the Tower is a blessing for you. And the Judgment card is making decisions that are in alignment with you, you know, deciding to give something a second chance. So if you have gone through some big major Tower moment with somebody in July, you know, this could be the opportunity where you and another person are deciding to give something a second chance. Anything else for you? I see the Page of Swords. All right, so a lot of questions and a lot of answers maybe coming in July, maybe questioning things. I am seeing new opportunities with the Page of Swords and a lot of communication around clarity and truth showing up here. You may receive communication from somebody that does bring in the truth, and Judgment can be forgiveness. All right, and Pisces. Let's see. Pisces. Yeah, whenever we're getting closer to a retrograde, I feel like there always is, you know, confusion in the chat, people's feelings, old stuff that used to happen in the lives come back. I see it all the time. And I misinterpret people. So people need to be mindful of how you're chatting as well, so people don't misunderstand you. A lot of people just speak like we know what you were thinking. And you say things and you know, and then it can stir up stuff. It happens all the time during retrogrades. All right, Pisces. Pisces, I'm just looking, I'm doing a little taste test of July to see what's coming through. And the temple, right? So some of you really working on your health, your body, your mental health, meditation, you know, rest, recouping, the wisdom within and meditation. There's been a few signs that it feels like a lot of people coming back home to maybe reconnect with spirituality in July for some reason, maybe getting out more and just finding, you know, the summer energy is just bringing about some sort of change, right? You may just need more space to yourself when it comes, but I see the temple, and the temple is about your physical body, your emotional, your mental body, and the people that are around your nervous system. You know, it's like you're just doing a reset. You know, I need to cleanse, do a reset, especially if you've had a lot of noise around you, going through a lot of stuff. All right, so what's trying to leave and anything good trying to enter? All right, Page of Pentacles. Taking it slow, maybe a new job, new opportunity, something getting started in July. It's a slow and steady, you know, maybe some of you thinking about going back to school, some of you thinking about getting another job or trying to figure out ways to make money. And this is also taking steps towards improving your health. A new friendship possibly could be coming in July as well. What's leaving is 10 of Pentacles. Maybe some of you are leaving instability. Maybe some of you are leaving, you know, some troubles behind that were with family dynamics. A lot of, you know, it feels like you're moving towards a more simple life. It feels like you got a lot. The 10 of Pentacles, you've got a lot to carry, a lot of responsibilities, a lot of home, family, you know, bills every day, a huge house, maybe all these things. And July, you might be, you know, coming back to your senses and maybe trying to figure out how to simplify and quiet your life. If you've left a marriage or left a relationship, this is also where you may be spending time alone. You might be liking this energy. You might be loving this energy, especially if you are worn out from all the responsibilities everyday life was getting to you. So it feels like a more peaceful July. Now, that doesn't mean that your family's leaving. 10 of Pentacles. It just means that maybe you're taking a step out of this hectic life and spending so much money. And some of you really downsizing and trying to simplify, comparing yourself to everybody or trying to keep up with the Joneses, or you have too many people wanting something from you. What's coming in is the 3 of Pentacles. Look at this, keeping it simple, maybe getting some financial help or getting some counseling or help from other people to figure out a new plan. I think my Pisces are going to want to simplify their life in July and kind of downsize. Teamwork, sharing with people, getting a roommate, maybe somebody moving in. Somebody moving in. You know, I see the Seven of Swords showing up for you. It doesn't always mean everything is going to be clear. You know, you may be working on counseling, working on some trust issues, working on something that you know that you need to resolve, that you've been in denial. And you may be seeing who's transparent with you and who's not. So you may be figuring out who you can trust and who you can't, who supports you and who doesn't. Who are you building this life for? Who are you trying to have a part of your life? And then you got the Seven of Swords here. You can't really trust. But this is jealousy and envy. If some of you have jealousy and envy over somebody, to me, this is your jealousy and envy of what others have didn't make you happy. So some of you taking a new direction. And I'm seeing the Strength card. Again, more physical activity, physical fit, being more confident. And I just feel like finding the beauty in simple for my Pisces. Right? Just getting stronger with decisions and feeling more confident in yourself. All right, guys, I love you. So that's just the taste. I'll dive deeper next week. Enjoy the rest of your night, everybody. Thank you for being here and always supporting the channel. I hope I see you guys tomorrow in membership if you're in membership. But I will see you Friday with the quick reads and love weekend, just messages from the person on your mind. All right, thank you. Thank you, Angel. Thank you, Lisa, for helping out with Modern. Thank you, Bina. Thank you, Issa. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, everybody that was here. And just be mindful. We're getting closer to Mercury retrograde, and there's going to be a lot of people that misunderstand us, or we misunderstand people. And because it's in Cancer, it could be very passive aggressive. It could be very emotional. It could be, you know, people just in moods, something, you know, shit like that. It's water energy. You know how us water signs are. Have fun. Take it easy, guys.